Excellencies, distinguished guests, colleagues, good morning and welcome to the International Bureau for our first fully in-person World Post Day in several years. It's very nice to see everyone's faces here in the room today, but of course we also want to acknowledge those who are following along with us live on UPU TV anywhere in the world. So welcome to everyone in person and online. My name is Kayla Redstone, and I work with the Communication and Outreach Program here at the UPU, and I'm very happy to be your moderator today. Today, we will take some time to reflect on the Post and its contribution to the future of our planet. We will recognize the state of global postal development and acknowledge those who have made great strides to move the sector forward. We will also listen to the voice of our youth through our letter writing competition winner. Finally, at the end of today, we will seal our vision for a greener post into a time capsule that will be opened in 2030, in line for the achievement of the UN Sustainable Development Agenda. So without further ado, I would like to open our proceedings today by asking the UPU Director General, Mr. Masahiko Motoki, to come to the stage to read his annual World Post Day message.
Good morning, Your Excellencies, distinguished delegates, everyone. Thank you for coming to the World Post today at the International Bureau of the UPU. I would like to read my message at the World Post today. So, we can no longer ignore the climate emergency. Drastic changes in the environment are beginning to have dramatic impact on our daily lives and livelihoods. The scientific consensus is clear. Human activities are driving climate change. International organizations, governments, and civil society have called for urgent action from all sectors to avoid the worst impact of this crisis. The postal sector employs more than 5 million people who work from more than 600,000 offices in 192 countries. It delivers hundreds of billions of postal items per year. There is no doubt that the postal sector and its partners have the responsibility to take concrete actions to reduce their carbon emissions. We must drive change within our own sector. To mark this year, World Post Day, we have chosen the theme, Post for Planet. As a global player in delivery of goods and essential services, posts are in a prime position to lead the way for their partners across the entire global supply chain. We can be a front runner to improve climate mitigation, adaptation, and resilience within other sectors. Fighting climate change is not a small task. Real action requires real investment, but these investments will pay dividends towards our future. Action on climate change will also drive progress on social and economic development goals. We must think about our impact beyond our offices, our networks, and our borders. Every person, business, and nation on this planet has a stake in this fight. We must all work together to secure a better future for generating to come. I urge the governments of UPU member countries to work with both public and private partners to security climate investment for the postal sector. I call on Post to revive the spirit of innovation that helped our support their communications throughout the COVID-19 pandemic. Use this experience to find innovative solutions that will reduce your carbon footprint and let it serve as a benchmark to finding appropriate and impactful response to support your communities. Finally, I ask the billions of people who use the Post each day to support our sector as we work to build a better, bright future. I wish you fruitful World Postal Day celebrations. Thank you very much for kind attention.
Thank you, Mr. Matoki. Just before we continue, I'll take the opportunity also to remind everyone that we do have interpretation in French and English today, so if you use the earpiece in front of you, you'll be able to activate those channels. Each year, we are also very honored to receive a special message from the UN Secretary General, and today we have the honor of hearing that message read by Mr. Oswald, our Deputy Director General.
On World Post Day, we celebrate the critical contribution of postal workers in connecting people around the world with essential services that improve their daily lives and boost the development of their communities. With a global network and universal service mandate to ensure access for all, the postal sector is a key partner in our effort to deliver the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. The theme for this year's World Post Day, Post for Planet, recognizes the many ways in which postal services are finding cleaner, greener means to reach our doorsteps day in and day out. Post for Planet is also called to action for the postal sector to use its position as a connector between governments, businesses, and people to take a leading role in our fight against climate change. Working with partners from across the logistics, financial, digital spheres, postal services have the power to catalyze positive actions across a wide range of other sectors. I thank the Universal Postal Union for leading this call to action and look forward to working together towards a more prosperous and sustainable future for us all.
Thank you very much, Mr. Oswald. This year, our day is all about the planet. That has been the focus not only of World Post Day, but also our international letter writing competition. We are very lucky this year to have also worked with the World Meteorological Organization on the letter writing competition. They participated as a judge, and we have received a very special message from the Secretary General, Petteri Talas, who I would ask my IT colleagues to please play the video.
Greetings from World Meteorological Organization in Geneva. First, I would like to congratulate UPU for this event that you are organizing. UPU, WMO, and ITU, we are the oldest UN agencies. Somebody might say that we are even the fossils. But I'm happy that you are now dealing with the young people, and I would like to congratulate the laureates of this prize that which you are winning based on this competition. And the issue that you have been dealing with is very important. Climate change is the biggest threat for the welfare of mankind this century, and hopefully not for the coming centuries either. At the moment, we have just passed this COVID-19 pandemic, which was having big impacts on our everyday life, and at the moment, the war in Ukraine is having big impacts on life in Europe, but especially it's having big impacts on life in less developed countries, we have difficulties with food security and fertilizers, and it's also hitting the economies of countries and people. But climate change is a major issue, and the WMO has been just reporting that many indicators of climate change, they are moving in the wrong direction. We are always breaking records in greenhouse gas concentrations, temperatures, ocean temperatures, sea level rise, melting of glaciers, and also we have started seeing more extreme events, flooding like now in Pakistan, drought in Europe, in Eastern Africa, China, and also western part of United States, and drought. So these problems are getting worse and worse. But luckily we have also hope. So we have started acting against climate change. There are already 32 countries which have reduced their emissions during the past 15 years, especially European countries, but also USA, Japan, Singapore, and several other countries have been able to reduce their emissions. And we are no more heading towards 3 to 5 degrees warming, which was the message from IPCC report in 2014. At the moment we are heading towards 2.5 to 3 degrees warming. That means that we still have to enhance our ambition level to reduce the emissions, and we are lucky that we have better means for that. We have much cheaper wind energy and solar energy than before, and also the prices of electric vehicles, they are getting lower, and they are fairly attractive for consumers. And then we could also favor more vegetarian diet, which would also help us to tackle this hunger challenge that we are having worldwide. So there's hope, but we need to enhance the ambition level. And you young people, you are key players. You have to tell your parents, and of course in your everyday behavior you can also show us older ones example. And while I have been interacting with young people, I have been positively surprised how much they are taking these issues into account in their everyday life. So with these words, I would like to congratulate you for this as laureates of this prize, and I would like to thank UPU for the opportunity to address you, and also the postal area is one area where you can reduce emissions by having new means of transportation, less fossil fuel based transportation, and also this electronic means offer new opportunities for your business, and I'm sure that that's already very much happening. But we are happy for the partnership with UPU, and I would like to wish you all the best also for this celebration. Thank you.
Mr. Tallis spoke about hope and action, and here at the UPU we are also taking actions toward climate change, and that work is executed mainly through our two councils, the Council of Administration and Postal Operations Council. We've received 2 video messages from the chairs of both of those councils, so I would please ask my colleagues to play the message from our Council of Administration Chair, Mr. Isaac Nambayao.
Dear colleagues, hello. Climate is a center stage today, and this is especially the case within the UPU. Postal operators throughout the world, they contributed to preserving our environment to save lives on our planet Earth. And I would like to pay tribute to this initiative of today to have discussions on this very significant matter of climate change. I encourage the International Bureau of the UPU to continue its efforts in the area of awareness raising, and to encourage the postal community at large to work towards the preservation of the environment. I wish you an excellent day. and postal operators throughout the world a happy World Post Day. Thank you very much.
We also have a message from our Postal Operations Council Chair, Mr. Jean-Paul Forceville.
Bonjour.
Greetings to the global postal workers community. It is with great pleasure that I address you on the occasion of the World Post Day 2022, dedicated to our planet. The natural disasters that have multiplied in recent months around the world have highlighted what scientific reports have been telling us for a long time. It is urgent to act. Our logistics activities, our transportation, our buildings, our digital infrastructures have a real impact on our environment. Fortunately, most companies have become aware of their responsibilities and have implemented real CSR policies, corporate social responsibility. They are also required to comply with increasingly stringent regulations put in place by national authorities in the context of successive COPs, and particularly since the Paris Agreement. The UPU has also been involved in this battle for more than 10 years, with the OSCOR tool enabling all posts to measure their emissions. Last year, the Abidjan Congress adopted a resolution to promote exchanges and best practices, to study the possibilities of setting a greenhouse gas reduction target for postal operators, and to study the creation of carbon neutral products. We are hoping for additional funding to carry out this project. A working group dedicated to sustainability has been created within the POC and is ensuring the implementation of this objective. The 4 POC committees and their working groups are increasingly integrating the environmental dimension into their work, and this must obviously be encouraged. Every day, our customers ask us to be greener, more virtuous. Consumers expect more traceability. They expect us to introduce more ecological products, such as reusable packagings or more gentle and less polluting distribution solutions in city centers. As chairman of the POC, I call on all UPU members, restricted unions, and the entire postal community to get involved in this work. The preservation of our planet is a collective, worldwide battle. And this movement must involve our suppliers, our partners, our clients, and our staff. Our postal activity, our market must be greener, more sustainable, more virtuous. Every eco-gesture counts, and everyone must play their part. We wish you all a happy World Post Day.
The next part of our ceremony today acknowledges postal excellence through the UPU's annual Postal Development Report. This features an integrated index for postal development. That index provides a comprehensive overview of the state of the global postal network. In 2022, this analysis covers 172 countries, many of which have made very significant progress, and that progress will be recognized today. So I would like to introduce the Director General to please open our ceremony today.
Excellencies, distinguished guests, friends, colleagues, World Post Day is the opportunity for the UPU to announce the result and findings of the Post Development Report. Each year, the UPU establishes a status report of the level of postal development across the postal sector. This is the 6th year of the UPU has published the report, one that is the most awaited by the global postal community. Today, it is my honor and pleasure to open this ceremony which will recognize the progress made by our member countries and the level of excellence they have reached in their postal development. Excellencies, colleagues, this year's Postal Development Report is special and unique in many views. First, it provides the most comprehensive view on the state of the postal sector in the post-COVID era. Secondly, for the first time, we have used our assessment methodology for foster sustainable growth plan for postal development. This approach will encourage member countries to invest in postal growth to meet national development needs and to strengthen the single postal network. Thirdly, we have enhanced the way we assess and recognize the level of postal development of our member countries. This new, more transparent approach will not only help countries identify the best way to strengthen their domestic network, but will also strengthen the global postal family. Excellencies, colleagues, the report words have unveiled today shows that 2021 was a positive year for postal development. In many countries, the postal sector has not only demonstrated its resilience to the COVID-19 pandemic, it has shown its ability to adapt and find new avenues for innovation and growth. Growth that we should build together in a sustainable way, not at the cost of our planet. This year, the report also underlines the disparities in postal development across the globe. The UPU must address these gaps and tailor its interventions to support member countries in their development journey. With today's ceremony, we will recognize those countries that have made most progress or achieved the best result. It is a moment of pride for the entire postal community. To conclude my remarks, allow me to echo the words of the United Nations Secretary General by calling on all governments, postal operators, and development partners to use this report to work together towards a more prosperous and sustainable future for all. Thank you very much for your kind attention.
Thank you very much for opening our ceremony today, Mr. Matoki. I would ask the Director General and Deputy Director General to please step to the far side of the stage, and we will call up our representatives present today to receive their letters of recognition. After you receive your letter of recognition, I would please ask you to remain on the side of the stage with my colleague Sonia, and we'll take a group photo with each group. So the first letter of recognition today is for our regional champions, and they are being recognized for outstanding performance within their respective regions. So first, I would like to please call Cameroon, represented by His Excellency Mr. Leonard Henri Binzi, the Ambassador of Cameroon to Switzerland. Thank you very much and congratulations. Next, representing Colombia, I would please ask Ms. Claudia Flores, Chargée d'Affaires for the Embassy of Colombia in Switzerland, to the stage to receive the letter of recognition. Next, we would like to recognize Saudi Arabia, represented here today by Ms. Manal Al-Khaibari, the First Secretary from the Embassy of Saudi Arabia. Congratulations. If I could ask our 3 regional champions to stand together and pose for a photo with our Director General and Deputy Director General. Thank you very much. The next group we will recognize are our rising stars, and they are recognized for having made the most progress in our index compared to the previous year. So first, I would like to ask our representative from Armenia, Mr. Henri Geretsian, the Second Secretary of the UN Permanent Mission of Armenia, to come to the stage. Next, we will acknowledge Egypt. Egypt is represented by His Excellency Mr. Wael Gad, the Ambassador of Egypt to Switzerland. Our last acknowledgement in the Rising Stars category would go to Estonia, who unfortunately could not be present today, but we would still like to congratulate them on their letter of recognition. So now I would ask the Rising Stars to please pose for a group photograph. Thank you and congratulations. Our next and final category is the Postal Excellence Awards, and this award is given to countries which have received the highest level of postal development in the UPU's Postal Development Report. First, the first acknowledgement goes to Austria, who is represented by Dr. Desiree Schweitzer, the permanent representative of Austria to the United Nations in Geneva. Okay, I think Dr. Schweitzer could not be here with us today, so we will move on to China, who receives our next acknowledgement. China is represented by His Excellency Wang Shiting, the Ambassador of China to Switzerland. Congratulations. Our next acknowledgement goes to France, represented by Ms. Madeleine Couron, the First Secretary from the Embassy of France. We would also like to acknowledge Germany, represented here today by Mr. Guido Grenrich, the Counselor and Head of Economic and Commercial Affairs for the Embassy of Germany. Our next acknowledgement is for Japan, and Japan is represented here today by Mr. Mio Maeda, the Minister from the Embassy of Japan. And last but certainly not least, we would like to acknowledge Switzerland, who is represented today by Mr. Francis Saylor, the Senior Expert of International Affairs for Swiss Post. And now a little premature, but if I could ask our Postal Excellence awardees to pose together for a group photograph. Our warm congratulations to all who have been recognized today. I would ask the Director General and Deputy Director General to return to their seats for the moment, and we will commence our next ceremony, which is one that is very near and dear to our hearts here at the International Bureau, and it acknowledges the winner of our annual International Letter Writing Competition for Young People. Each year, more than 1 million young people from around the globe write letters on a topic chosen by the UPU. This year, we asked them to write about climate change in line with our World Post Day theme. So I would please invite the Deputy Director General to come to the lectern to read his opening remarks and announce our winner for this year's competition.
Excellencies, distinguished guests, dear colleagues, it is a sincere pleasure to open the part of our World Post Day celebration dedicated to youth. Around the world, young people are stepping up to shape global agendas, influence decision-making, hold world leaders accountable, and secure their futures. The United Nations has established several initiatives focused on bringing about change with and for youth. The UPU has its own well-established way of engaging with young change makers and help bring the post closer to youngest generation. It is our international writing letter competition. Now, in its 51st year, the competition itself remains yet forever young, continuously nurtured, refreshed, and renewed by its millions of bright participants. Just the same way, these letters nurture and refresh the mindset of those who read them. Ladies and gentlemen, this year we asked young people to write to someone influential to urge their action on the climate crisis. We received 1.4 million entries from 40 countries, demonstrating that the art and joy of letter writing are still alive among the digital generation. I'm happy and proud with the number of entries, but I'm sort of disappointed with the number of countries participating. You and we can do better. We thank every participant for sharing their ideas on solving this critical global issue. They are for us all the winners in our eyes, but our jury had a difficult job selecting one to receive our gold medal. This year, the choice has been made in favor of Ezra Shumeye Öz from Turkey, whose unconventional, moving and convincing letter on the topic of climate crisis has left a deep footprint in the hearts and minds of our jury members. Ezra has decided to address each family and knock on each and every door by dedicating her letter to mothers. The logic of her choice is simple but yet powerful. As Ezra writes in her letter, the way of life of mothers determines the way of life of their children. Mothers guide us forward to the future. By touching upon such topics as responsible consumption, preservation of water and energy, Ezra's letter speaks to all of us, not only mothers, asking us to protect our second mother, the earth. Distinguished guests, I was also once a child and my mother will celebrate 80th birthday next week. Now I'm a father. I appreciate the power that role models play in the lives of children, and I recognize the immense response that comes with it. Ezra's message is very clear. The change starts with us. The values we pass on to the next generation will contribute drastically to their ability to sustain our planet. They will also define our capacity to advance global sustainability agendas for generations to come. Changing the mindset of future decision makers through education and providing the right example will facilitate our fight, securing the necessary resources and political will for the green transition. To conclude my remarks and before giving the floor to Ezra, I want to acknowledge the other young writers whose letters have been recognized by our judges. Nisal Nasser Salem Al-Rawiyah from Oman, who will receive the silver medal, and Brianelisa Lachman from Guyana, whose letter was placed third. Young writers from Algeria, Cyprus, Georgia, Sri Lanka, and Vietnam will each receive special mentions. We owe our special thanks to our international jury, Ms. Brigitte Perrin from the World Meteorological Organization, our valued UN family partner and ally in the climate fight, Mr. Musibahu Mazou, former UPU Deputy Director General, and Mr. Richard Nash, previous winner of the competition. Thank you for contributing your knowledge, enthusiasm, and experience to the judging process. To everyone who invests their time and effort to hold the competition at the local and national levels, a big thank you. By channeling the voices of our youth, you contributed to our future. As Ezra writes in her letter, small precautions prevent major catastrophes. A few simple words can bring a long-lasting change. On this note, I pass the floor to Ezra to share her message to all of us. Thank you.
Before we have Ezra read her letter, we would please ask the Director General and Deputy Director General to stand on the far side of the stage and present her with her medal. Now, of course, we would like to hear this award-winning letter. So we would ask Ezra to please come to the lectern here and to read her letter for us.
I want to express my gratitude to my dear Mama and to all the mothers of the world. My teacher asked me to write a letter to an influential person to draw attention to the climate crisis. I think that mothers are the most influential people in the world. A mother shapes the world, raises generations, changes societies. I would like to start by expressing my affection and my respect for all the mothers of the world. Dear Mama, I am a child. The earth is large and I am small. For our ancient and immense earth to protect us children and leave us a sustainable legacy, you mothers must protect our second mother, the earth. You must shine a light on our future before the climate changes and deteriorates. You must be the first to say stop in response to the climate crisis. When I think back to my childhood, I want to remember flower-filled gardens, white clouds adorning a blue sky, the waves of the sea, busy bees and friendly penguins. To those who are thoughtlessly polluting the environment, I say, stop haunting my nightmares, please. The climate crisis is a universal downfall, a terrible problem triggered by damage caused by mankind to the environment, a deterioration of the balance of gases in the atmosphere, an increase in the greenhouse effect, the consumption of natural resources, an astounding increase in the quantity of waste that is smothering the planet, the use of fossil fuels for which mankind is responsible. It is causing the extinction of hundreds of plants and animals and an increase in the quantity of acid in water, our source of life, rendering it unusable. It breaks my heart to be writing of such things as a child. I feel as though our house has been bombed, my toys broken, my sweets fallen in the dirt. I want to breathe freely, to run in green fields, to race against the wind, to dance with the snowflakes, to be soaked by the rain, to blossom like the pollen of flowers the world over. I imagine that our ancient earth is not a battlefield, but a field of celebration. This is what I dream of. My dear Mama, you know that I have frightening dreams. Well, they are all about the climate crisis. I'm afraid. Please, Mama, help me to overcome this crisis. Together. The world the children are to inherit is disappearing with the climate crisis. Our future is slipping from our grasp. Our hopes are fading. Our dreams are polluted, and our laughter is replaced by tears. I'm afraid, Mama. I'm afraid. Help me, Mama. Help me. Dearest Mother, before the climate crisis opens up irreparable wounds in our lives, you must say stop to this destruction that causes irreversible damage. You are mothers, and mothers reproduce, give birth, raise, teach, educate. Mothers bring us into the world, give life. According to the rules of ecology and divine balance, the sun's rays upon the earth should bounce back and disseminate towards the sky, towards space. The greenhouse gases generated by the fossil fuels used without thought surround the atmosphere and create a hazardous layer. This hazardous layer traps the sun's rays on our earth, disrupting the balance and causing dramatic global warming. When the natural balance is disturbed, climate changes, habitats and laws of nature are perturbed, people are obliged to migrate, animals and plants face a terrible end, species are snuffed out, the world is shattered by global extinctions. We don't want to perish, we want to spread the universal values and feelings in our hearts beyond our time, such as love for mankind and animals, respect for nature. We do not want to die. We want to fill our lungs with oxygen, transport the love we feel for the creatures under the watch of the Creator across the continents and the ages. We want to live our big, pure and childish loves of peace, friendship and fraternity. Throughout the world, every living being who has suffered as a result of unexpected natural phenomena such as fires, hurricanes, freezes, floods, whirlwinds, extreme temperatures makes our hearts bleed. We do not want animals that have committed no crime or sin to die because of climate change. Dear mothers, to prevent this crisis and the suffering that it causes, it is in your power to say stop. You can start by reducing our consumption of meat and product of our animal origin in our meals. You can take a step forward by ceasing to buy useless items and by avoiding the waste caused by the frenzy for buying that has taken over the world. Without polluting natural spaces, you can tend to the wounds of our ancient earth by restoring our habitats to their natural state. Our heroic and devoted mothers who have so much love, compassion and mercy in their hearts, the day-to-day affairs of this world progress with every step you make. For this reason, every action that you undertake has the power to show the climate crisis. But how? Feed us naturally. Make sure that we eat fruit and vegetables that are in season. Stop the unrestrained consumption of water and save water. The children that you raise can learn habits to save water when they wash, brush their teeth, wash their hands, and take a shower. You can avoid plastic. Plastic is an insidious enemy, and it exhausts our ancient earth. You can opt for fabric bags instead of plastic bags, and paper or glass plates instead of disposable plastic plates, cups and straws. You can use flasks instead of plastic water bottles that will not break down in our beautiful natural world for hundreds of years. And you, mothers, you want us children to be happy. Believe me, paper and glass are less harmful than plastic. We children prefer to use things made from these materials rather than plastic that cannot be broken down in nature. Dearest mothers, do not forget that a mother guides and influences a child, and that a child changes and strengthens a society. The way of life of mothers determines the way of life of their children. Mothers guide us towards the future. For example, if a mother dries the laundry on a line rather than in a dryer, her children will follow her example and turn off the tap to avoid wasting water and switch off unnecessary lights. And so small precautions prevent major catastrophes. Mothers are guides with generations following in their footsteps. Dear mothers, you are at the vanguard in an army of nature lovers fighting against the climate crisis. We children with you are there to the end to say stop to the global crisis, the climate crisis. We are young, we are ecologists, we are happy, we are free, we love our world very much. We want to leave a clean and undamaged legacy for our children. Therefore, we listen to and support our ecologist mothers to the end, and we follow in your ecological footsteps. We are growing up with hope, love, and a happy world. We're growing up with hope, love, and a happy world. I salute all mothers who are fighting the climate crisis and who respect the environment. I send you all my love and best wishes. Kind regards, Ezra.
I think we're arranging a photo op up here. Selfie opportunity. Our very warm congratulations to you, Ezra. Winning the letter writing competition is a big honor, not only for the winner, but also for the country from which the letter came. So we have invited Mr. Cumali Yüksek, the Deputy Director General of the Turkish Post, to the lectern to make some short remarks.
Esteemed UP Director General Metroki, esteemed UPU Deputy Director General Oswald, distinguished participant, my young friends who participated in the competition, won the degree, and were entitled to receive an honorable mention award. And young people of the world in the presence of dear Esra Sümeyye Öz from Turkey. We are very happy that our young friends like you are involved with their parents in such competition, which have an important task in the continuity and visibility of our communication tool, such as letters, which are less used in the face of technology. The adventure of writing, which has been going on from word to pen with the need to make the existence of the word permanent since the first times of humanity, is also work of your bright minds today. I hereby wish that your writings be as wide and endless as the vastness of your imagination, that faith in your statements will continue to grow, and that you will be on the path of important intellectual people and authors whom we remember with gratitude today. When I first read the letter of Esra Sümeyye, who is among us here today with her mother, I understood why she didn't choose another figure but her mother, while touching on the issue of climate crisis, which has reached to a serious level by increasing every day. A mother prepares the future of her child from the first moment she takes infant in her arms, and mothers build the world together with the future of their children. Thus, the generation that are the children of today and the adults of tomorrow also become the distinguished works of art of mothers' efforts. This role that our mothers, having much dedication on us, have assumed as human beings beyond being a universal value is quite sacred. I congratulate dear Esra Sümeyye in your presence once again, who is entitled to represent our country at an international level as a result of Turkey qualifiers being the first, and who is entitled to get the first prize with her letter in international letter writing competition for young people of Universal Postal Union in 2022. And I would like to express that this is a source of great pride and happiness on behalf of our country and our corporation. Dear Esra Sümeyye, I sincerely wish that your beautiful days, crowned with writing and the light of your future, filled with many more successes. Before ending my words, I would also like to congratulate all the member countries of the Union and our colleagues on the occasion of the World Post Day, and I wish many more anniversaries in which our work is successfully continued in coordination and cooperation. Thank you for all.
Thank you very much. Each year we are astounded by the maturity, creativity, and intelligence of our winners who write extremely moving messages just like Ezra's. So this year we wanted to do something a little bit new and learn more about Ezra since we have her with us all the way from Turkey today. So we will have a short question and answer session, and Ms. Sanam will kindly help interpret for us on stage. I'll just make sure that we're all set up technically.
Open.
We would really like to know what inspired you to participate in our competition this year.
Esra, yarışmamıza katıldığın için gerçekten çok mutlu olduk.
Ben de çok mutlu oldum. Çok teşekkür ederim. Burada bulunmak bile çok güzel.
I'm also very happy. I thank you all very much. It's very nice to be here among with you.
Thank you so much, Ezra. And what motivated you to participate, to write a letter to us this year on the climate crisis?
Esra, bu yarışmaya katılman için sana ne ilham verdi?
Ben önceki yıllarda da bu yarışmaya katılmak istemiştim ama mektubum yetersiz görüldüğü için katılmamıştım. Ben, öğretmenlerim ve annem mektubumu yetersiz görmüştük.
In the previous years, I also wanted to participate in this competition, but I had given up the previous year because my mother and my teachers found my letter insufficient.
Wow, tough critics. We're very glad that you decided to finally submit your letter this year. So then going off of that, how did you feel after hearing that when you learned that you actually won the competition this year with your letter?
Bu yıl jürimiz yarışmayı kazandığını öğrendiğinde sen ne hissettin?
Çok mutlu oldum. O kadar mutlu oldum ki yani böyle hem ağladım hem güldüm.
I became very, very happy. I was so happy that I both cried with joy and then I laughed. I was so much happy.
We're very glad to hear that. So your letter was very unique in the sense that you wrote to the mothers of the world. How did you come up with this idea to write to mothers?
Mektubun gerçekten çok özel bir değer taşıyor. Mektubunu annene hitap etmen fikri nasıl ortaya çıktı?
Etkili birine yazmamı istediler mektubu. Ben de yani benim için en etkili insan annemdir. O yüzden anneme yazdım.
They asked us to write a letter to an influential person. The most influential person for me is my mother. That's why I wrote to my mother.
I'm sure that was a very nice honor for your mother.
Annem için bu büyük bir onur. O cümleyi de.
I have one last question for you today, Ezra, and I want to know, what is one message that you hope that everyone here today will take from your letter regarding climate change?
İklim değişikliği ile ilgili herkese vermek istediğin en önemli mesaj, mektubundan alacakları en önemli mesaj nedir?
Şimdi öncelikle bizim ilk öğretmenimiz annemiz, her zaman herkesin. Bu sebeple annelerimizin peşinden gidelim. Çünkü eğer bir anne isterse iklim değişebilir.
Our first teacher is our mother, so we should follow our mothers carefully. If a mother wants it, even the climate may recover.
Ezra, you looked like you had one last thing to say to us, so please go ahead.
Son olarak bize söylemek istediğin bir şey var mı? Buyurun.
İsraf yapmayalım. İsraf yapmak çok kötü bir şey.
Let's not waste. Wasting is very much bad.
I think we can all agree with you there. Thank you so much for being here with us today, Ezra. We were very pleased to hear your letter and your wisdom.
Senin bilgeliğini ve mektubunu gerçekten kutluyoruz, tebrik ediyoruz.
Çok teşekkür ederim.
Thank you so much.
So we'll move shortly outside, but the last part of our ceremony today in this room is an interactive one. As you'll see, that we've placed a postcard and a pen on each desk here today, and we've asked you to leave us a message, a short written message. How can we ensure a greener future for our planet? Please write one change you would like to see by 2030. These postcards are an important part of our time capsule ceremony today, which we'll be moving on to shortly, so we would really appreciate even just one sentence of one change you would like to see by 2030. So we'll give you a few minutes here in the room to leave us your message. When you're ready, you can proceed to the UPU garden. My colleagues will be waiting on either side of the room to take your card and to guide you downstairs. Hi, everyone. Just to let everyone know, the garden entrance is downstairs on the ground floor. We have colleagues outside who can show you to the stairs.